New controversy regarding indigenous tribes in South America has kicked off when a tribe in western Brazil was photographed responding in alarm to low-flying aircraft. It sheds light on the isolated indigenous people who are relatively unprotected in what is in many cases a rather lawless wilderness. I spoke earlier with Kim Hill, a professor of anthropology at Arizona State University. I started by asking him what, at this point in history, does the term uncontacted really mean?
What it really means is not that people have absolutely no contact, but either that their only contact with outsiders is hostile, or they have very limited contact, usually only with another tribal group, and are therefore not receiving any direct communication or information about the outside world.
Well, Brazil's Indigenous Affairs Agency confirms the presence of around 27 indigenous groups living in extreme isolation in Brazil's Amazon, for instance. What's the risk to these people if civilization and even logging and industrial attempts encroach on their land? How can we ensure they're not exploited?
Well, the biggest problem right now is that they're being protected from most legitimate groups that would go in and work with them effectively, but they're not being protected against illegal incursions by loggers, drug traffickers, miners, and so on, so that the only people they're likely to have any interaction with are the worst possible people they could encounter. What we need to do is change policy so that legitimate human rights groups and medical groups and so on have better access to these groups before they get contacted by the worst possible people they could encounter in the forest.
What do we have to gain from making contact with these people?
Well, we always learn more about human diversity and our own human ancestry and kind of general cultural and biological variation of humans all around the world and how they adapt to different circumstances. But probably the outside world doesn't have a huge amount to gain. It's really the other way, that these people are very small and powerless inside of circumstances over which they have no control, and we really need to be protecting them at this point.
That was Kim Hill, professor of anthropology at the School of Human Evolution and Social Change at Arizona State University.